All right, so afternoon, everyone. This afternoon, we're going to look at standard form using a calculator and how to use it best for calculations and whatnot. So we're going to go through a little tutorial on it, and then we are going to go through the worksheet. All right, so I'll show you how to deal with those questions all together. And afterwards, I'll put up a proper worksheet that you submit for marks. All right, but I'm pretty sure you all found it easy enough, so you're going to go through them quickly. Hopefully that you've done some of the questions in the worksheet, so I don't have to spend my time, not my time, our time, going through it for too long. Here's really nice. So let's open our share screen. Standard form. All right, so we're going to go through here. Let's get rid of this. Now I do have participants and everything closed. So if somebody wants to get in the room, you're all going to have to tell me. If you all have a question, you're going to have to actually say something, because I won't see the reaction buttons. So a little bit of revision. We have here standard form. We do know that standard form is written in the form of a by 10 to the n, where a is a number that is more than 1 and less than 10, and n is the number of times we multiply by 10. All right, so standard form is essentially expressing any and every number as a multiple of 10. All right, so let's just say 40 is equal to 4 by 10. 2000 is equal to 2 multiplied by 10 cube. All right, because we did that. Whose mic is on? I have recording going. Jason, can you please take off your mic? Thank you.
Sorry, Miss. Good afternoon.
Afternoon. All right, so we went through the exercises last week. Today, we are going to learn how to use a calculator properly to use standard form. Right, because some students do make a very little tiny mistakes when it comes to using a calculator. We're here to knock that out today. So as I said before, those who came in early, we are here to learn to use our calculator to find standard form, and our star of the show today is the EXP button. I want everybody to look at your calculator and identify a button called EXP. Right? Usually the EXP for some calculators are probably at the bottom row, right? Or right above your 7. Right? I want everybody to identify that for me right now. All right, I have the scroll bar end so I can see who has to react. Does everybody identify? Can everybody identify their EXP button?
Yes, miss.
Everybody. All right.
Yes, miss. Yeah, miss.
Good. Very good. Don't sit down there and be quiet, because if you don't identify it, I won't know that you have a problem. So you have to learn to tell me. All right, so EXP, what does EXP represent? EXP represents by 10. It doesn't, you do not have to go and press the multiplication button. Please don't. No, we're not doing that, because EXP actually has the multiplication built into it. Right, so you do not have to use the multiply sign for this ever. But this is where students end up kind of making a little mistake. EXP is equal to by 10 by itself. This is what it means, by 10. So when I want to use the EXP button, this is what we're going to do. When I want to express a number in terms of standard form, for example, if I have 4 by 10 to the 3 and I want to put that into my calculator, right? This is what you all are going to do. Just look at this. We know 4 by 10 to the 3 is 4 by 10 to the 3 is 1, 2, 3, 4,000. Right? So let's check. How do I write this on my calculator? I'm going to have 4 EXP, 3, and then equal sign. Everybody try that for me, tell me what you get. Those buttons exactly.
Yeah, miss, I get 4,000.
Yeah, Miss. Me too.
Yes, miss.
All right, good, very good. All right, because what it does here, as we can see, the EXP covers this part. Right, this is what EXP does. So what you have to do, you have to come in and put the 4, which is the number in front. Then you have to put in the number, which is your index, and then you hit a equal sign. Let's try next one. For example, suppose I have 2.65 by 10 to the 4. How am I going to be doing this? You put your number first. So you're doing 2.65 EXP, because remember EXP button covers this section here alone, right? 4. And you hit an equal sign. You should get 26500. Very good. All right, for those sending the answers in the chat, very good. Seeing correct answers coming in. Did you all get 26,500?
Yes,
Yes,
Miss.
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 Beautiful. All right, so that is positive indices, right? With the positive one, it's easy to do. Now we have the negative. Remember, anytime we have, let's clear the board. Anytime we have a positive index, as you all can see here, that means we're talking about a number not larger than 10, right? Anytime we have a number 10 by to the power positive number, it's meaning we have a big number. When we have a negative number, a negative index indicates that we're dealing with a decimal. Right, so this is where we have to be very careful when it comes to dealing with decimals. So how do we write decimals? This is what we're going to do. If I have, what did I touch? Oh, that's why I touched. All right, I have here 5.6 by 10 to the minus 4. Let's do something easier. Let's not do a decimal to start. Let's take a whole number. All right. So I want to do 5 by 10 to the minus 3. 5 by 10 to the minus 3 indicates that if I have my 5.0, remember that we're going to go through how to read that standard form again. Minus 3 means that I would have to had to jump my decimal point 3 times. So my number will be 0.005 is equal to 5 by 10 to the minus 3. That is how we check for standard form with negative indices. Negative indices imply that we're dealing with a fraction. Yes, question?
Miss, how you doing this on the calculator?
I'll come into that now. All right, we just started them. Remember, I'm still teaching you standard form. So now we want to do this on the calculator. So this is where we're going to have to identify our negative sign button. Our negative sign button is not the subtraction button. Right? If you all look here, you have your 4 operators, right? These are all 4 mathematical operators. We are dealing with these today. No, we're not touching those. I want everybody to identify your minus sign. Your minus sign indicates that you're converting your positive number into a negative number. Because when I have minus 2, I know this means minus sign 2. So how do I find this minus sign? Or usually, depending on your calculator, it's written like this. Look for this button or look for this button. Some people, the minus sign is a second function. Usually, those who have it as a plus or minus, it's at the bottom row with 0 and the decimal point and the equal sign. Look for it right now. Tell me that you identify it.
I found it, Miss.
Found it? Good. Anybody here did not find their minus sign? Tell me right now. I'm going to have to pull up your camera and look at your calculator. Good.
Found it.
Great. Anybody here did not find your minus sign? Please tell me no. Yes, jump to the answer. That's fine. All right, so everybody here has found their minus sign. So now let's go and see how are we going to get this number into our standard form. So what we're gonna do, all right, remember the example first. We're not dealing with this example. We're dealing with 5 by 10 to the minus 3. So this is what you're gonna do. 5, we do know that EXP represents by 10, right? So this is where we do EXP. Then you are going to do your plus or minus sign. 3 and equal. And you should get 0.005. Everybody try from here.
Miss, I get it.
Yes, Miss. Miss, I get, but Miss, how again, if you want to use the plus sign, you press it again?
Yeah, if you want to get rid of minus sign, just press it twice because it understood all your numbers are positive. So that's why we have a minus sign specifically to give us minus numbers. All right, so trying this one on the screen now. All right, you're gonna do 5.6. That's a big one. 5.6 EXP plus or minus, or if you have like my calculator has a minus sign in brackets, 4 equal. Did we get 0.00056?
Yes, Miss.
Yes, Miss.
Beautiful. So you see how nice your calculator, they're very, very useful tools. As in, I have never used all the functions in this calculator up to now. There's some of them that I have no clue what they are for. Like I know what HYP means, but I've never used it. I know what ENG is, but I've never used it. All right, so there are a few things on here I've never used up to now. All right, but EXP is your friend. The negative button is your friend. You don't have to go and subtract it. And it's very easy to convert numbers into negative. All right, so let's go ahead and use our calculators to do some arithmetic with standard form. So I have here, this is 1, and this is 2, 3, 4. I have 7 by 10 to the minus 4 multiplied by 3 by 10 to the 5, and I want to work out this. All right, it's very, very simple. There are 2 ways to do it. We can do it by calculator, or we could do it by hand. We're doing it with the calculator right now since I just taught you all how to use the calculator. So how are we going to do this? We're going to do 7 EXP minus 4. Then we're going to use the multiply bracket because remember this indicates a mathematical function. Right? So these are where we have to use our mathematical functions. Right? Please note this is our entire, this is our standard form. Right? This is our standard form too. Right? This multiplication sign in the middle here indicates that something is being multiplied by something else. Chat message. All right, we'll see. We'll see. I've seen answers coming in already. So 7 exp minus 4 by 3, exp 5. Let's plug that into the calculator. You're gonna get 10 by 21 to 10. Now, I could have done this without calculating using shortcut in maths, which is what I'm going to show you all with the worksheet. So let's try the next one. The next one I have 9.2 by 10 to the 6 multiplied by 4.1 by 10 to the 7. Now this one is a little more complicated numbers. So you all can go ahead. Somebody saw the short way. All right, I'm going to teach you the short way just now because there's always more than one way to do something in maths, which is a beautiful thing in maths. All right, don't come and tell me you don't like maths because you're going to miss me with that. Completely miss me. All right, so 9.2 by 10 to the 6 multiply. Let's identify the mathematical operator here. Multiply in the middle is our multiplication sign. The other two multiplication signs are involved in a standard form notation. So these already involved in other calculations that you're doing and using. That's all. That's all you. Sorry about that. All right. Oh, I didn't pause. I'll take it out. I'll edit it out. So we want to do 9.2. I see some chat messages coming in. Let's see. We're gonna try. Let's see what we get in. I seen some weird numbers in the answer. Some too big of a number. So let's write this down number by number. First one we want to deal with. Chat. No, you have, this is why, you see, this is why I'm teaching you it. Because I understand students get problems with this, even though it's simple. All right, so first number multiplied by the second number. Let's write down our numbers first. Oh gosh, you hear any puppy bark? No, sorry. 9.2 exp 6. Let me highlight it differently so y'all can see it. Oh. 2, 1, 2. All right, so I have 9.2 exp 6. Then we're going to hit the multiplication button, right? By the next one, 4.1 exp 7. Then you hit your equal sign. Let me try it and see where I get to. 9.2 EXP 6 multiplied by 4.1 EXP 7. You should get 3.772 by 10 to the 4th.
Wait, Miss,
Yes.
whether it's confused my limits. Oh, I don't see my answer. That 10 by 40. Where I come out from this?
See that? See
10, 10 to
Uh-huh.
the 40.
Right, 10 to the 14, right?
That's how, where I come out?
Let's stop the share. I want you to open your camera and show me what your calculator is showing you.
Miss, I seen it on my calculator, but I don't understand where it come out.
Open your camera and put your camera up to the screen and let me see what you're seeing. And I'm going to tell you what's happening.
Miss.
The fishman basket. Open your camera, please, young lady.
Yeah, Miss, I put it on back my shit, but Miss, I seen it on the calculator.
You seeing it or you're not seeing it?
Yeah, Miss, I seen it.
So what is your issue?
Miss asking how I get that in terms of what's Miss?
Okay, let's go. Okay, so let's try this again for those who not getting it. So you didn't get this answer on your calculator?
Yeah, Miss, I get an answer.
You did not get it or you got it?
Yeah, Miss, I get an answer.
Okay, so what's your problem?
No, Miss, I don't understand. I confused about the last part, the 10 to the 44.
Uh-huh. You're not counting anything in it, just putting numbers direct into your calculator. So let me do one more. All right. Not 3 yet. Let me do 5. Everybody want to try this? So I'm going to give you a little weird one. Chat 10 to the 14. That's when you work it out when you multiply all these numbers. Remember, you're talking about 9.2 by 10 to the 6 is 92 million. 9.2 million multiplied by 41 million. When you multiply these two big numbers together, you're going to get a really big number. All right, a really, really big number you're going to get. Let's try the next one. I'm going to give you a whole bunch. Right here. Come on again. Identify which one is standard form, which one is your operator. Your operator will be the ones joining your standard form terms. These are the operators that you're using, plus or minus, little square set. The rest are your standard form. So 2, EXP 6, multiply. 3, EXP 3, multiply. 4.5, EXP 5, hit your equal sign. You're supposed to give me, 2.7 by 10 to the 15. Beautiful. I'm seeing people getting it right. Now, how do you write this down? Like how I see some people here writing it correctly in the chat. but some people don't know how to express 2.7. Very good. 2.7 by 10 to the 15. How do I write that when I'm typing? Right now, this indicates a power. Nowhere on our phones do we have powers on it. Right? So the way that we write this down to indicate that we're dealing with a power, you use the little hat sign here, right? And your hat sign is usually on your keyboard. So what you do 2.7 X as an X button, 10, that little hat sign, 15. Oh, the puppies are back. Hey, what's going on? All right, how do you get this little hat sign? For those of you on your laptop and keyboard, it is Shift 6. Look for your 6 button for those typing from a keyboard. All right, if you look at 6, it's second function, or not second function, Shift to get 6. And on your phone, when you're using your keypad, it is going to be probably when you go to your third screen of typing, because you know you get 3 screens, right? When you go to your third screen, okay, mine's not giving that. Your third screen, you should see it right next to these buttons, right? You will see a button like this when you do your third screen and typing using your phone, right? And right next to it, you'll have a hat like this. This is the button you're using. All right, so when you're using your phone, that's how we get this button. But when you're using your keyboard on your laptop, tablet, or desktop, right? Shift 6. All right, so this is how we write it down. If you don't have access to equations, like right now, you can't use equation notation in the chat. Yes, question? No, okay. All right, so that's how we write it down. I see some people already they know that already, so that's great. So let's go on to the negative, to the divide section. Now, when you're dividing, you're obviously going to get a smaller number sometimes, right? It depends on what your values are. So I have 6.5 by 10 to the 4 divided by 1.3 by 10 to the minus 3. So this is what we're doing. 6.5 exp 4 divide button. 1.3 exp plus or minus sign 3, and then you hit your equal sign. And look it all out, see what you get.
In progress.
You're gonna get 5 by 10 to the 7. Very good. Just know you get 84.5 from.
Miss Agua, it over.
You see, as simple as these are, these why we have to do a little bit of examples so that you learn to use them quickly and properly. Right? Because as I say, and I will always say, you are allowed to use calculators for every single day of your physics life, right? There is at no time where I will tell you not to use your calculator unless I want you to develop some skills. Because, you know, math skills are where it's at. Everybody got the 5 by 10 to the 7 or 50 million?
Yes, miss.
All right.
Yes, miss.
Good, great. Do the next one. Tell me what you get. You will get, I could work it out right now, you're going to get 2 by 10 to the 9, I think. Yeah, it should be 2 by 10 to the 9. Guys using shortcuts in maths too. 10 to the 9? Yep. 2 by 10 to the 9. Try to figure out. Teresa, all you had to do, you don't have to tell me that. All you have to do is say 2x
Miss,
10
oh,
hat
I was
9.
looking for the multiplication sign, but I haven't seen it.
Multiplication sign on your keypad is X
Oh,
if you're not using your calculator mode. If you just want to type, use X. All right, very good, Ashana.
and for divide, miss, where we use?
Use your calculator. You're not using your calculator?
Was miss more like if I had type it for any chat, what we use for the divide side?
For your divide, you don't have a divide. You just put a slash.
Oh.
Right, but I think if you're using your phone, I don't know if you're using your phone what to get. I've never used my phone to type equations in WhatsApp. No, in thing. Is there let me check. Is there a divide symbol? Yeah, you have a divide symbol on your keypad for your phone. There's if you have on your phone, but if you're using your keyboard, you have to use a slash. All right, everybody else. All right, so let's try one more and then we're going on to the worksheet. All right, I'm gonna give all you a good little workout here. One that I can't do mentally because that one I could have done mentally. All right, how much y'all get? With the minus indices, you all have to be a little careful and make sure and put in that minus sign because it does show up on the calculator. Very good, Jason, Julia, Shauna. 5 is your answer. Very good, Alicia. All right, for those who still following, if you're getting problem, I'm going to call it out and you follow me in the process. 2, EXP, minus sign 3, divide button, 4, EXP, 6, divide button, 1, EXP, minus sign, 10, equal button, tell me what you get, if you get it 5. Try it again, Teresa. You miss out a minus sign somewhere. I am pretty sure you missed out this.
Miss, I don't realize that. All right, so we have a few more minutes. I want to go on to the worksheet. All right, so I'm going to stop sharing this and I'm going to go on to your worksheet to just go through a couple of the questions.
Right now, I expected everybody should have gotten all the algebra fine and right and correct. Right, I will do up the solution for that. I have the solution somewhere, just lost to me people. Right, but I can do this mentally if you want. 7 x is equal to 2. X is equal to -5. If you all done it and you want to get your answers, U is equal to 5 and Y is equal to 16. Right. Next one, laws of indices. Right, simplifying using laws of indices. Remember when we're doing laws of indices, when we multiply, we add our indices. And when we divide, we subtract our indices. Normal application of math numbers applies. So let's see, I have X. And of course, when our bases are the same, this is when we can apply the rules of indices. And sometimes we have to make our bases the same. So I have here, x to the 6 multiplied by x cube. Since the base is the same, and I multiply, it's going to be x to the power 6 plus 3, and I'm going to get x to the 9. Next one, part 2. I have a to the -6 multiplied by a to the 7. Since they're being multiplied, I have to add the two indices together. So I'm going to have -6 plus 7, and -6 plus 7 is 81. Very simple and nice. Part 3, I have h to the 5 divided by h to the -6. Remember, when you divide, you're going to subtract the next index. So I'm going to have h 5, and the divide sign here means I'm going to subtract my next index, minus, and I'm subtracting the next index, which is -6. So 5 minus -6, and we all know when we have two negatives, it becomes a plus. So you're going to get h to the power 5 plus 6, which is equal to h to the 11. All right, I put a little trick there, but again, we're still applying our mathematics basic number line calculations. Oops, did I kill a question? All right, so next one I have here, k squared multiplied by k to the 6 divided by k to the 8. All right, you have to do two things separately. So we're going to work out first your numerator. All right, work out your numerator first. They all have base the k. So that means we can apply the rules of indices. So it's going to be k. When we have a multiplication, we add our two indices. So it's going to be k2 plus 6, which is equal to k to the 8. And this is k over 8 divided by k over the 8. Y'all, these are the same thing. Anything divided by the same thing is equal to, anybody?
Itself,
1.
1.
1.
Anything divided by itself is equal to 1. So k to the 8, no matter how big k to the 8 was, divided by k to the 8, give me 1. All right, so even though that looked a little bit complicated, it wasn't. Let's try question 3 without the use of calculators. All right, so let me give me some working page. All right, I have working page. I have 3 by 10 to the 6 multiplied by 3 to the power 6 multiplied by 3 to the -4. We're not using calculators. Somebody's mic is still on. Teresa. Thank you. So rules of indices we're using here. We're not using our calculators, right? I have 3 to the power 6, and I have 3 to the power minus 4. The base numbers are the same, so guess what? I can apply my laws of indices. So I'm going to have 3 to the power 6, and since I am multiplying them 2, I am going to add my indices. Remember we said the sign in front of your index goes along to the right, right? It's attached to the number. So this is my index, minus 4 is my index. So 6 plus minus 4, we all know that's going to give you a minus. You're going to end up with 3 to the 6 minus 4, which is equal to 3 squared, which is equal to 9. Easy, easy peasy. Right? Real easy to work out. Let's look at the next one. I'm sure you're probably thinking, Miss, that wasn't so bad. Part 2, I have 2 by 10 to the minus 3, and I want you to work that out. I want you to tell me what number I'm going to get with that. Now, we know anytime a number has a negative index, that means we're looking at a fraction. So this means it automatically becomes 1 over 2 to the power 3. 2 to the power 3 is 2. Let me just don't crowd up everybody in the same foot. Right? It's 2 by 2 by 2, which is equal to 8, which is equal to 1/8. Right? I'm trying to teach you here how to learn to identify numbers that are related to each other. Right? Now, let's go on to the next one. Everybody okay with these so far?
Yes.
Yes.
All right, good. All right, so let's go on to the last one. Do I have space? Yeah, last one, which is part 3, which is a wee bit a little more complicated, but not that much. 5 squared. Now here I brought in a little trick where I have 2 different numbers. 2 to the 6 divided by 2 to the 5. Now, we can't apply the rules of indices to these 2 numbers. Why? Because the base number is different. So what we have to do, we have to kind of work with them separately. Now, in mathematics, we know we have a commutative law. All right, tell me if this is the same, y'all. All right, 4 by 3 over 5. Is that the same as saying 4 multiplied by 3 over 5? You all tell me, is that the same?
Miss Dai 4.3 over 5.
4 dot multiply. Oh gosh, I'm supposed to know about dots and multiply.
Yeah, Miss Dai same.
No, miss, that's not the same thing.
Is 4 over 5 by 3 the same thing as here?
No, Miss, because it's
Right.
3 over 5 and not 4
Right.
multiplied by 3 over 5.
So this is what we mean by commutative, meaning we can break up multiplication functions. No, you didn't get the same? Kyla, what was this you? These 3 are not the same?
It was for the question. It was for the question.
Oh, okay, all right. All right, so what we can do here, using this little bit of logic, I could want to break this up into giving me 5 squared multiplied by 2 to the 6 over 2 to the 5. And I could do that? Right, I can do that now. And how are we going to work this out now? We can go and apply the rules of indices now, because I now have 5 squared could lie by itself, because it's 5, could stay there for the meantime, multiplied by 2 to the power 6. And anytime something is over the division sign or over the fraction sign, it means divide, because 1 over 2 is exactly the same as 1 divided by 2, right? You all should know that, all right? So what I can say here now, I can now come and break it up and say, and I will have 2 to the power 6 divided by 2 to the 5. And we apply the rules of indices. We can see both of these are the same base. And we have, all we have to do now is apply the rules of indices. So the 5 to the squared was still lying in the corner here by itself, multiplied by 2 to the power 6. Remember, when we divide, we will subtract our indices, subtract 5, and let's see what we will get. 5 squared multiply 6 minus 5 is 1, multiply by 2 to the 1. 5 squared is how much, folks?
25.
25 by 2 is?
50.
So you see how we do this calculation without a calculator? Right? This is why maths is a beautiful thing. Let me go through that real quick now that you understand all the basis behind it. All right, so I'm going through real fast here. All right, for those who still kind of have to grasp it. So I have 5 squared multiplied by 2 to the 6 over 2 to the 5. I know since this is a multiplication term, I can break it up into 2 different terms because of the commutative law. Right? So I could come now and say 5 squared multiplied by 2 to the 6 divided by, oh, sorry, I'm skipping a step, my apologies. Multiply by 2 to the 5. So that means we can deal with this one term on the side, and these two, I can deal with it separately. So we're going to go here and work it out, and we're going to end up getting 5 squared multiplied. Remember, we're still looking at the 2 different sections here. 2 to the power 6 divided by 2 to the 5. And that's going to give me, remember the 5 still lying by itself here because it's not involved that and two different bases, multiplied by, remember when we have a division, when it comes to the rules of indices or the laws of indices, that means we subtract our index. So it's going to be 6 minus 5. And you end up with 5 squared multiplied. 6 minus 1 is 1. 2 to the power 1 is 2. And we know that 5 squared is 25. 25 by 2 is 50. Shortcut way, for those of you all who can see it, there's an easier way this could have worked out. Right? You know how this way could have worked out? I would have seen mentally, some of you always see it immediately, and I'm going to show you how you do your stuff immediately. Right? I would have seen, okay, I have a 5 here, and I have 2 base 2 terms. Right? I know, right? If you think about it this way, let's show you how many ways in maths they have to do something. Right? I know 2 over 6 over 2 over 5. Right? You're going to have to subtract it. And in my brain, I done work out 6 minus 5 is 1. So I'm going to end up with 5 squared minus 2 to the power 1, and I get 50. I don't even have to go through all of this long, child. Don't have to do it. Because mentally, you'll start to learn, you'll start to see the shortcuts, or you'll start to jump the steps because your brain can do it. But you only get out with practice. All right, so standard form. I think you all should have gotten all of these in standard form. Let me just go through them really quickly. This would have been 2.5 by 10 to the 1. Let me check. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 10 to the 6. All right. This is, if you have to move this is where your decimal point would have been. Let's zoom in a little bit closer. All right, this is where your initial decimal point will be. So you're going 1, 2, 3, because you have to get a number that is more than 1, less than 10. 4.5 by 10 to the, we move our decimal point 3 points, 3. This one, we're going to count and move our decimal point. Now here we could start understanding that every time we have a comma, that means we've moved our decimal point 3 times. We have 3 zeros involved. So you know what? I'm going to count 3, 6, 7, 8. All right, rather than doing this, you know, we know how to do this. Let's take 2 more. The nice thing about the commas here, now this is old school way of writing, which I still do use. right? And if you see your calculator does have the comma in it sometimes. Does it? Yeah, your calculator has the commas too. All right, so I will see the 8.94 by 10 to the, again, let me check, 3, 6, 7, 8. Whole bunch of ways to do this. I have 0.001, so I know I have a decimal, so that means I'm working with a negative index to my standard form. So I'm going to get, let's check this, 1, 2, 3. 1.0 is a number that's between 1 and less than 10. So it's going to be 1.0 by 10. And you see, we jumped our decimal point 1, 2, 3 times, minus 3. Remember, the negative indicates that we're dealing with a decimal. All right, so let's check 1, 2, 3, minus 3 times. For this one, we can see that our number, to make it a number between 1 and less than 10, 4.58, and now we check. Unfortunately, there is no comma involved in long decimal numbers, so you have to check it. So let's check. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. By 10 to the minus 6. And the next one, I can write it on here. This will make our number between 1 and less than 10, 1.002. By 10 to the minus, let me check. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So I hope for those of you all who did the worksheet, that's how you get it out. Last one, I want you all to work this out without using a calculator. This is how we do them, applying laws of indices, right, to standard form. So the first things first, I'm going to show you how to do the first one because class is nearly over. All right, I'm going to show you how to do the first one. You all do the rest. So I have a big number. I have 40 million multiplied by 0.000025. I can do this mentally. Well, I can just do this without a calculator, no, without having to write all these zeros. Why? Because we have standard form to use. So let's try. All right, 40 million is 4 by 10 to the, let me check, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. By 10 to the 7. So quick that is, you just count them in threes, especially when your calculator has them on it. Multiply, which is your mathematical operator. Let's check. These are big, bright one. Too big. All right, so we're going 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So I'm going to have 2.5 by 10 to the 6. Folks, minus 6, my apologies. You know what we could do here? We could go and multiply the numbers on one side, right? Like regular multiplication. And then we could go and treat the standard form parts using our laws of indices. So this is what we do. We're going to look at the numbers part first. So let us put that pink box back down. So, or purple box. So this is our purple numbers here, right? Lilac numbers. That's going to be the 4 multiplied by 2.5. So this is where regular multiplication is going to work. And now let's look at our standard form. Now this is our standard form edge of the line. Standard form. This is your EXP10, EXP. And now I have, since I multiply, it's going to be 7. What do we do when we multiplying indices? We add them. Plus, minus 6. And let me see how easy this can work out with all calculators. 4 by 2.5 is how much, folks?
Ten.
And
You all want to know what's the shortcut in that? All right, look at the other shortcut. If you're not too confident with decimals, all right, you had to go move a decimal point, but you know what? I know 25 multiplied by 4 is equal to 100. And that is if I had jumped my decimal point forward a minute, a whole number. So all I have to do to work this out, I just have to jump back the multiplication sign. The decimal point and I get 10. a whole bunch of shortcut ways they have to do in arithmetic. So you're going to get 10 multiply, which is 10 exp. 7 plus minus 6 is 1. So you're going to get 10 to the 10 multiplied by 10 to the 1. Easy, easy, easy. All right, so I'm just going to start you up on the next one and then we'll go for the afternoon. All right, so part 2. Now let me do part. Let me give you a next example using smaller ones here. Suppose I have example. Right. I have a number like this. I could work this out using standard form and using regular maths. What's the first regular maths route we can take? And you all know about canceling top and bottom. These things are being multiplied. When they're being multiplied, top and bottom, being in a decimal or no, dealing in a fraction kind of situation, we can cancel out numbers. So I see 1, 2, 3, 4 zeros. That could cancel with either one of these. This one has 4 zeros, 1, 2, 3, 4. Let me cancel those zeros, let me cancel those zeros. All right, and then, and then we have a next way we can do. Is 3 and 75 related?
Yeah, Miss 25 could go in 7.
Right. So then we go and cancel again. Let me use our next column. Right? 3 could cancel this and I end up with 25. And now I want to multiply this out and I'm going to end up getting 4 zeros, 25, 250,000 multiplied by 2 is going to give me 50,000, which is equal to 5 by 10 to the 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Now there was a next way to do this. For those of you all who seen the message, you could have turned it to standard form and make life real easy. All right, let me look at that. All right, this is canceled here. I have 25,000. 250,000 multiplied by 2. That is saying the same thing as 2.5 by 10 to the 1, 2, 3, 4, 10 to the 4 multiplied by 2. Since this is not involved in standard form anywhere, we can put the numbers together and give me 2.5 multiplied by 2. Standard form, 10 to the power 4. This is your EXP term here. This is not multiply sign. This is your EXP term here. And you're going to end up 2.5 by 2 is 5 by 10 to the 4. So you see how you have multiple ways to do these long calculations that's seemingly long, that's seemingly complicated without a calculator. All right, so I'm going to post up, I'm going to work these out now. All right, I'm going to post up the answers. Yeah.
I think you made an error when you had 75,000 there. It was actually 70.
Actually 70.
Miss, she's talking about the part 2 in the question, but I think it was doing an example.
I do an example, sweetie. Yeah, these are rough examples. This is not related to the question. I'm giving you more chance to work the questions that you have already. All right, so this was an example. So knowing that now the video is recorded, All right, so when we finish, I'm going to render it and put up a recording of the video. All right, so you can try it again. Remember, that's a scroll through. It's going to be a YouTube video. So let's scroll through until you find this. All right, so everybody give these a try. I'm going to post up the answers just now in the Google Classroom. So you all can see whether or not you got it correct. Or I might actually do the full solution. I think I'll do the full solution for you all, so you'll see if your working was correct. All right.
Yeah, man.
So everyone, let me stop the share there. No, stop the recording, wherever it's recording. Stop it.